heart.
She's starting to feel guilty.
No, I'm telling you, I thought that toothbrush was going to set my house on fire.
I'm sending a text message to your pastor and asking him, please do not listen to this episode 394. It was innocent.
It was innocent.
I really did think that my house was going to explode and I need to protect my children and my dogs. And like, I was trying to figure out a plan for safety.
The worst comment ever made. And one that still leaves us all asking, why is there an electric toothbrush in the shower?
Thank you for listening to our show today.
A blog will help you do that. Number 6, a blog will help you tell your story. And I want to tell you, nothing sells better. Nothing you do. There is nothing you can do or say that is going to do better for you than telling your story. Your story has more power and more potential for you to turn a profit, to grow your platform, to be able to widen your footprint, to have more impact, to be able to reach more people in a much more deeper and meaningful way that builds that rapport that you so desperately need and want for your business. Nothing will do that better than telling your story. Everybody's got one. I like what Eric Thomas said one time. He says, I might not have been through what you've been through, but I've been through my go through. And telling people what you've had to go through helps them understand, okay, this is a real person. It encourages them. What is encouraging people? It's literally taking courage and putting it on the inside of them. When I tell my story of how it was just in 2008, I was broke, busted, and disgusted. I was just steps away from being homeless. Our house was being foreclosed on. We were literally days away from get out of the house, a house that we had lived in my whole life. I was raised there, been in my family for years. It was the old family farm. My great-grandparents met at a barn dance on that piece of property. Telling that story and finding myself in a food bank looking for benevolence to feed a family of five children and a wife, actually a family of 7. Telling that story informs people that, hey, I don't know where you're at, but I've had my own thing. I get struggle. And it also lets them understand why I'm so passionate about what I do. Because the very training, the tools, the technology that I use today is how I, just in a short period of just a decade, have gone from the outhouse back to the penthouse. But more than the softwares, the systems, the website.
What's up, Fire Nation? Another bonus episode coming your way. This one was a great chat. I had a lot of fun with Terry Wilson. Terry is a serial entrepreneur who offers entrepreneurs and solopreneurs the tools, training, and technology needed to earn and enjoy more. For the past 13 years, he's helped thousands of hungry individuals discover their thing, develop the skills to do it, and be given a strategy to deliver it to market and produce value. Terry has a weekly podcast that can be heard on iTunes, Stitcher, and at terrywilson3.com. He also wrote a book called You Are Worth More, which you can check out at youareworthmorebook.com. We have a lot of fun in this episode, Fire Nation. I truly hope you enjoy. It's hard. It is hard work to achieve uncommon success. But you know what else is hard, Terry? Being broke.
You better believe that.
Living paycheck to paycheck, not being able to support your loved ones, not being able to support yourself, not being able to get up in the morning and do something that you want to do, but doing something you have to do. That's hard too. So Terry, my call to action for everybody here is choose your hard. Like back in 2012, it was hard. I spent 32 years of my life doing hard work and making the wrong decision on choosing my hard. I was going down the wrong path. I wasn't having any success. But then I flipped it and I said, you know what? Building this business, Entrepreneurs on Fire, it's going to be hard work. But the alternative is hard too. So I choose the hard of building a life of freedom, of building a life of choice, of building a life of uncommon success. And that's my call to action to everybody hearing our voices today. Choose your hard.
Choose your heart. Boy, I love that. Because there's a high cost of low living. And sometimes we think that, we're just going to get out of this easy by taking the path of least resistance. And boy, sometimes the end of that path is just a tiger. I'm telling you, brother,
Identify your big idea. Not be a weak, pale imitation of somebody else's big idea, which most people do. They're like, oh, look at what Terry's doing. He's so successful. Look what John's doing. I'll just copy them. And then you wonder why you fail, because you're a weak, pale imitation of those people and you will never win as a result. You need to come up with your big idea, your zone of fire, and wake up every day on fire, living that life. That is the life that you deserve. Because what, at the end of the day, do we really want? Freedom. The ability to wake up and do what we want, where we want to do it, with whom we want to do it with. If you have those three things, what more is there in life? And you can give yourself that gift. Just take it.
Which is identifying, why are you here? I like to say it this way. You're not a cosmic accident. You didn't show up on planet Earth because lightning struck a mud puddle billions of years later and you crawled out. You're a significant person with a significant reason for being here. There's a reason for you to be here. And once you identify that big idea, as John just said it, life becomes, oh my gosh, becomes unimaginable. Give us go ahead.
Just on that point real quick. I think it's so key for people to understand this, like what Terry is just sharing. There is so much wisdom out there in this world, but there's also so much noise and it's chaotic. And sometimes it's so hard to really cut through all of this and to really get to the meat and potatoes, to really get down to what matters.
Does anyone know Terry's story, what Terry did?
I do.
So Terry sold musical instruments, sold pianos, right? And what was it? Was it 9/11 that created the problem?
Yeah.
9/11 creates a problem. Nobody wants to go. There's no money in town anymore. It's a brick and mortar store. Some woman comes up to him in church, some older woman, and she's like, I was thinking about your problem, and the Lord told me you should sell them on the computer. Sell your pianos on the computer. And Terry's like, that's a great idea. I got to get out of here because you're crazy. So, of course, he does it in that sweet way where he says, oh, bless your heart. And
bless your heart.
He thinks about it. And then he's like, he told me about the story about, the guy, it's a flood and, you should get out. No, the Lord's going to save me. And at the end, he goes to God and says, why didn't you save me? He's like, I did. I tried. I sent you the news report. I sent you a helicopter. So Terry takes that and he's like, God's telling me what to do here, right? So I should do. That was the message. I should sell these things online. His first thought when the woman tells him that is, how am I gonna, because she said her grandson sold CDs.
On eBay.
Terry's like, how am I, you could just put them, I can't put a stamp on a piano. This is crazy.
Drop it in the mailbox.
So next day, right? The next day he starts sells them out in a week. So he doesn't think about, he doesn't latch on to his idea of I can't ship these things cheaply, right? He just goes past that. He goes, well, what's my first solution? My first solution is I got to sell these things. That's all he's thinking about. He sells out his whole inventory in a week. Then the problem comes to him. How do I get rid of these things? I've now sold them. How do I deliver them? So what would you guys have done?
Hire a U-Haul and drive them out there.
Yeah, that's what Terry did. Terry got a truck and just was like, well, I'm going to take my brother-in-law. We're going to go around the country. We're going everywhere. And he delivered pianos for 2 weeks. That's amazing. And then, then he's like, oh, and the next thing is I talk to someone and he goes and he talks to the manufacturer and he's like, so, where are these things? If I want to get them, how do I sell them? And he doesn't go into the conversation with the idea of, I'm going to figure out how to make this more efficient for myself. Or maybe he does to a degree, but he doesn't make that his outward appearance. He's not desperate. He's desperate, but he doesn't portray desperation. He portrays, as he's talking to the person, he's asking them questions about their business, and they give him the keys to the kingdom. They tell him the whole layout. They tell him exactly how to run his business. Now, in Watergate, did you ever hear, like in the first week after Watergate, Woodward and Bernstein spoke to a Spanish guy down in Mexico, and the joke was, He told us exactly what happened, but we don't speak Spanish, so we lost the story. It turns out that was true. They got the whole thing in the first week, but didn't understand it. Terry got the whole thing in the first week and put it together. He hears you have warehouses all over the country, so why don't I sell them and then you guys will just deliver them locally? He gets that in an instant. He doesn't think about the problem. He doesn't think they're not going to do it, any of this stuff. When I hear about Terry selling them and he just gets in a truck, my first thought with that is, I know.
Welcome to TerryWilson3.com.
Over one decade of helping others
Discover, develop, and monetize your skills and talents
at TerryWilson3.com.
This is the Terry Wilson. Really? I'm excited, Terry. I want to get started.
Here's your host, Terry Wilson.
Easy for you to say. Hey guys, this is episode 462, and you're listening to TerryWilson3.com. And we are in the recording studio tonight with some linguist, some
you're talking about Laurie, right?
Some people that understand words.
Oh yeah,
Can
that's
spell
Laurie.
them.
Laurie
Can talk to us about what Miss Spelling Bee. What's the
mean.
longest? You were saying the longest word in the English language was.
Do you know what it is? It's anti-disestablishmentarianism. Now, do you know what that means?
Well, I thought they were like Presbyterians, but you said no. So what are they?
No, you know what? I don't know what it means, but you can Google it. But can you spell it?
Hold on a second.
While he's trying to spell this, I was thinking about something.
Anti-disestablishment.
Dad was in school. I think we would believe.
Okay. Here we go. Here we go.
Now. Oh, I got it right here. ANTIDISESTABLISM.
Almost. Do you want me to spell it for you?
That wasn't right.
Wasn't right.
Okay.
No.
What was it then?
No, and besides, you Googled it. It's ANTIDISESTABLISHIANISM.
Word.
There you go. I've been practicing that since I was 10 years old.
You didn't see that. I just threw my phone. Well, now I got to know what it is. It is.
What does it mean, though?
Google it.
It is a position that advocates that a state church should continue to receive government patronage.
Yep.
Like I said, they're like the Presbyterians.
What's funny is it wasn't far off. That's actually hilarious. That's crazy.
Well, guys, you are listening to episode 4. Is this 462 or 463? I can't even keep up anymore. What?
This is 273.
Hold on a second. It's 462, and you guys want to know what we're talking. Tonight's show is sponsored by Nike.
No, it is not.
Okay, Reebok. Tonight's show.
Still not right.
Okay, New Balance. Tonight's show is called Iron Shoe.
Iron Shoe.
Iron Shoe.
Okay.
Isn't that right, Miss Spelling Bee?
That's right.
Iron shoes. Gotta have them.
Iron shoes. You got to have them.
Got to have them. These are better than the Air Jordans.
They're better than any other shoes you could possibly have.
Best shoes on the market. Iron shoes.
I'm waiting for the punchline.
You got it.
Still.
No, that's what we're talking about tonight.
Well, is it an allegory? I'm assuming it's like
It
an
is an allegory.
Okay.
A metaphor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This
Hypothetically speaking.
too boring.
In theory.
This is too boring to tease. I don't think we'll even care once we find out. So I don't know why you're teasing. Just tell us.
Can you believe it? Miss Spelling Bee, can you come over here and spank this child? What do you do?
Well, you can send them to Texas for a couple weeks.
No,
I'll
in
get
Russian
them
culture,
shape.
this would be right. They believe putting on a fake persona and this mask is fake, and you should be honest. So if I was Russian, they'd be like, "Yeah, just skip to the."
What?
skip to
She's
the
got her
punchline.
episode. It's coming up in segment 2. She'll
Oh.
Maybe the problem is Laurie didn't introduce it.
Gotcha. Sorry.
Laurie, do you want to introduce you?
I apologize.
Apparently, my boys don't like the way I'm setting up your
Laurie,
training
I
tonight.
We're fine tuned in like a race car that's just been tweaked and tuned to just make fun of you.
tweaked. We're tweaked.
Well, like just to make fun of anything you can say. So if it's presented by you,
because I said it, it's fodder for ridicule. But if Miss Spelling Bee said it, then all of a sudden, well, Miss Spelling Bee, you might want to introduce what you're talking about tonight, so that that the audience doesn't think that it's just some sort of punchline.
I don't even think it's the audience. It's really, you have bad guests. It's us. You keep bringing us back.
And I apologize, Laurie. That was not directed towards you. It was
That's okay.
straight personal
No,
to my father.
actually, Terry, I didn't know where you were going at first with Nikes and Reeboks, but now it makes sense.
Most people don't understand where I'm going, so that's quite all right. I've made a living at it. So tell us a little bit. Iron shoes. We're going to be talking about that tonight. I guess that's talking allegorically, I guess is the word for.
Well, it is, Terry, and life is not. You're not going to ride a magic carpet ride to success, whether it's in life or in business or when you get married or have children. So you're going to need tough shoes for a tough trip, and that's why you need.
Wait a minute, Miss Spelling Bee. Hold up on that car wash. I came to this show because I was told I could get rich quick, and you were going to teach me how. Now, you telling me you don't have a magic pill, some lotion, potion, thrill that I can just rub over my wallet, and all of a sudden I wake up tomorrow and I'm as rich as River?
It's never going to happen.
That's a joke because I got like $3.
Wait, how rich is River?
About $4.
Wealthier than I am. I mean, he just wakes up and money appears in his wallet. I'm actually doing something every day for the money that appears.
Right. That's crazy. That's crazy.
You know who's richer than River?
Excuse me. Who?
The cats.
You know who's also probably richer than River?
Who?
That homeless guy by QT. After I give him $5, richer than
River. You got some great stuff coming up. We're just teasing. Miss Spelling Bee, you're going to love this. Guess what River's going to be doing starting tomorrow at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time?
What's that?
I am tech support.
Tech support. Woo!
Now, here's the thing. I know nobody else is going to care as much as I care, but that's okay.
Reagan's going to care more than anybody.
I cannot wait to help everyone with your questions and your technical problems. I would love and be happy to help you.
It's your pleasure.
It's my pleasure to help you.
You're going to give the Chick-fil-A.
And I will go second mile service.
You're going to second mile service.
Here's the thing. I'm going to hype him up a little bit. River's perfect for this.
Yeah, he
Because
is.
out of everyone I know, he's the most laid-back person. I'm a little bit more A-type.
Yeah.
Sometimes I just want to arrive to the conclusion a little faster than we are all getting there, and that's okay. It's not on them. That's on me. That's a personal thing that I got to deal with.
Press enter!
but River, he's riding the wave, boys.
No, Miss Spelling Bee, you're going to love this. He's doing screen shares in the back office. So you're going to be able to go right into the Zoom meeting. Got a question, little quick thing here. Now, guys, he's not going to be setting up your funnel. He's not going to be setting up your blog for you. He's not going to be setting up AWS. But if you got these little things like I'm having a hard time logging in here, or figuring this out, or copying and pasting here, or I can't seem to get what I see in the video doing here, those little things like that, River's going to be back there. He's going to be helping you. So our members, I think, is going to really enjoy that. And if nothing else, just log in to give them a hard time.
That's what I'll be doing.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing. I'm
logging.
logging.
It's at 4 o'clock?
It's 4 o'clock. So
what's the time limit on it?
I guess an hour.
Hey, whatever you do, just make it entertaining.
Got some ideas.
So that's Tuesdays at 4 o'clock.
Tuesdays and Thursdays at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Because we're in South Carolina, so it goes off of that time period. So, but you can log in if you got little things that you need help with. He can sort of get you over the hump there and sort of answer a question real quick for you. So that's pretty cool.
For sure.
Yeah.
Cool.
So, Reagan, how has the call center been going in your world?
Pretty good.
A lot of traffic. business is really picking up.
Yep.
So I'm starting to see a ton of new business coming in, which is really encouraging. And of course, our retention rate still stays pretty darn high, which I'm excited. And Miss Bellingbee, you'll appreciate this too, because you were there with me on the virtual going away party for Tom last week. But I tell you, I don't know if I told you, Laurie, but I told the boys, in business, you always want to go, as River said, what is it? The second mile, the extra mile. You're always wanting to serve and help and do what you can. And sometimes you hit a home run. Sometimes you don't. I mean, that's just the way business is. In business, it's always really rewarding to get positive feedback. I mean, especially in the online space, you want people to give you good reviews, right? I mean, it's so easy. We got our first negative review. Remember what it was? The guy, his link broke getting into YouTube.
Oh, yeah.
And so the YouTube went down, ours went down, and so the whole link was broke. We had to go back up. It put us 10 seconds late for a live podcast on these Monday nights. Our first negative review several years ago. These guys can't even show up on time, and he posted it everywhere. Yep. I mean, it was
Facebook page, any like all these Glassdoor reviews, anything.
Glassdoor, yeah, Site Jabber.
It would be really funny if it wasn't so sad. It makes you go, not that much time.
I thought you were talking about Luigi.
Well, no, that was our second. That was our second negative review. We've only got 3, and he was number 2. But I said all this to say this. I think when you can make the highlight reel a reel of someone's life, to me, that's the greatest review. And I literally broke down in tears when I read Tom's obituary. In one of his bullet points, I mean, the man had accomplished so much, was in business, had a great life, doing a lot of things. And what was bullet point number 3? Proud member at TW3. And I told the boys, I said, we made the highlight reel, a film of someone's life. And that was just the greatest review. And I can't say enough. The only reason I wanted to bring that up is because all of you elite members that are on tonight, and you guys that come to the mastermind, and you guys that help build this culture at TW3, that is a reflection on you. That is the quality of people you are and what you've created. So thank you from the bottom of the Wilson's hearts and everyone else. And I know the sellers appreciate it as well. But when you can make someone's, I just don't know too many businesses like this and quote unquote business opportunities or tools that you get involved with or any of these things.
Yeah.
That would mean that much.
Yeah.
And it goes back to, I'll segue into this real quick and then we'll get into Laurie's training tonight. Laurie's already queued up. I can tell she's ready to rock and roll. But it goes back to why it's so important to be at these conferences, to meet these people. If you want to be a great golfer, if you want to be a great ball player, if you want to be a great musician, if you want to be great at anything, I always say get around other great people. They will just automatically elevate your game, just being around them.
Yep.
You're going to, some things are taught, but most things are caught. You're just going to pick up. And that's why coming to the conference is so important. Make plans. Second week in September. Tickets are going to go on sale in another week or so as we finalize on the details. But make plans. We're going to make it as affordable as possible to help as many people get there as possible. If you've already bought your tickets for 2020, you've got tickets for the 2021 conference, so don't even worry about that. So just be ready to come on out. But if you did not get tickets for the 2020 conference, then go ahead and get your tickets for the 2021 conference. They go on sale in just a couple of weeks. You'll want to be there. Now, if they want to share the podcast, what do they need to do, guys?
You got this one or you want me to do it?
To share the podcast, use hashtag TW3 podcast
462.
And then
make sure it goes on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn.
Yeah.
And I think that's all we're doing. Yeah. But if you use it there,
we'll check it at the end.
If you like our training tonight, if you get any value out of it, please like and share and send that out. We would greatly appreciate it.
Also, if you have any questions, you can go ahead and send those through the comments. I don't know if we're doing a live.
We will in segment 3.
But we also have members that'll sometimes answer the questions as they come in. So go ahead and send those in. Yeah,
it's going to be good. So when we get back,
Iron Shoe,
baby,
Iron Shoe. Is this a new outro?
Air Misspelling Bee. Air Laurie. It's got her new Air iron shoes. When we get back right after this.
Hi, this is Linda Wilson Gordon with Insights with Linda. I'm talking to you today from the beautiful Pacific Northwest, literally right next to the Olympic Mountains, a truly gorgeous part of the country. I want to tell you just a little bit about me and my background. I currently coach and train financial services professionals and business owners across the country on how to make their business more profitable and how to reduce their federal tax bite. My insights have been gained over a 30-year career in the high-tech financial services, independent business, and entrepreneurial arenas. I really hope you'll join me Thursday at 7 o'clock Eastern Time on TW3 Radio, where I'll be talking and also interviewing guests about a variety of business and entrepreneurial insights, and also talking about mindset and what it really takes to succeed. If you have questions you would like to ask me, or you want to connect with me for any reason, you can always reach me on my website at lindawilson3.com. My podcast is streaming on TW3 Radio and also on the TW3 Radio app. It's also on demand on my website. I can't wait to connect with you there. And please do share with others you think would like to know a bit more about Insights with Linda. Insights gained from a 30-year career as an independent entrepreneur.
Earners are learners and leaders are readers. So if you want to go to the next level, you do have to grow to the next level. And that's why I offer free audiobooks at terrywilson3.com/free book. That's terrywilson3.com/free book. When you go over there, you're going to get to try the service out for 30 days free. No obligation. And you get a free audiobook just for checking it out at terrywilson3.com/free book.
And now back to our show with Terry Wilson.
The off-script version of Terry Wilson. Do you hate it, or do you really hate it? Find out now. No, we're back, and we've got our training with Terry and Laurie, so let's go ahead and get into that.
Hey everybody, Miss Spelling Bee here. I'd like to thank you for listening tonight. I'd like to thank Terry for the opportunity to speak with you, and I hope I'm a good steward of your time and attention tonight. Now, last time I was here, I told you a story about this guy named Abe. Abe had split with his business partner after allowing him the most fertile opportunities and was left looking up from the place where he was, only to see a whole bunch of rocks and sand. It didn't look very promising at all. If you missed it, just go to Terry's blog or YouTube, or go to YouTube and search for Laurie Brown. That's Laurie, Brown, just like the color, or put "Look Up with Laurie Brown" in the search bar. And while you're there, do me a favor if you would and subscribe to my channel. So back to Abe for a second. God told him to look up from the place where you are now and get walking. And it would have been a very, very rough walk. Now, let me ask you, in your business life, or even in your personal life, do you ever feel like you're looking at a bunch of rocks or trying to walk through stony ground? You know, some of us struggle with the learning curve, or we have unmet expectations or financial struggles, or conflicts with a business partner, or you know what? Life happens. So now what? Iron shoes. That's what I said, iron shoes. In Deuteronomy 33, Moses is blessing the 12 tribes of Israel, And in verse 25 to Asher, it says, may your shoes be of iron and brass. Tough shoes for a tough trip. Tough shoes for a tough trip? Well, you don't need iron and brass shoes to lay on the couch binging on Netflix. You don't need iron and brass shoes for feather beds. You don't need iron and brass shoes for a magic carpet ride to success. You do need iron and brass shoes if the trip is tough. Did you think starting a business, or for that matter, getting married or having children, was going to put you on easy street? The journey to the promised land is a path that's tough, and you can't make the trip in house shoes or flip-flops. So what's next? As your day, so shall your strength be. Did you ever have one of those nights where you couldn't sleep at all and the mattress felt like you were embracing a porcupine, and then you fall asleep right before the alarm clock goes off and you get up so weak that you're not even sure you got legs? This promise says, as your day, very individualized. This is not a message for all of you. It's a message for each of you. As your day, so shall your strength be. The giver of strength programs the strength for your day. Now, the wonderful news of that message is it pays to get up feeling bad. If you get up feeling weak, the measure of strength is piddling, and you're going to have a day that doesn't call for much strength. Now, the other side of that is, if you ever get up, feel like, boy, if I met a lion, if he walked in here right now, I could break his jaw. Look out. As your day, that's the bad news of it. As your day, so shall your strength be. You know, you can't win. You either have to feel bad with the good news, there's not much trouble today, or you've got to have a good feeling ruined by the knowledge that you have so much strength, it's going to be a terrible day. It's like the doctor that said to his patient, he had just cut his leg off. And he said, well, I've got good news for you and I've got bad news for you. The bad news is we cut off the wrong leg. The good news is the leg we thought we needed to cut off, we discovered it doesn't need to be cut off. You can't win for losing. So if you get up feeling good, you know it's going to be a rough day. If you get up feeling bad, you're too feeling bad to enjoy the fact that it's going to be an easy day. The good news is if you feel bad, not much trouble today. The bad news is if you feel good, all hell's coming. As your day, so shall your strength be. So what's the bottom line? No matter what the day, the giver of strength is going to give us enough to handle it. Don't ever quit at the end of the day. The promise of God is, as your day, so shall your strength be. That means that individualized, God is going to measure the strength out for each of us, and we're going to make it through this day. How many of you, any day in your life, were convinced you weren't going to make it? Well, how many of you are here tonight? I don't know what you're facing today, but whatever you're facing today, and whatever you're facing tomorrow, and whatever you face the next day, nobody ever had a nervous breakdown over today's problems. There isn't a one of you here listening that doesn't know, way deep down, you can make it through today. Breakdowns come because of what we fear is going to happen tomorrow or the next day. Well, God's promise is when tomorrow becomes today, individualized to you as your day, so shall your strength be. Quit letting tomorrow kill you. Think of it. God is measuring out the strength for you each day. How many of you feel miserable today? Come on, be honest. You're the lucky ones. You're not going to be bothered too much. The rest of you that got up feeling like a giant, well, I'll pray for you because it's going to be a tough day. Tough shoes for a tough trip. Simply said, though, we're going to make it. Bring on the tough road. My shoes can handle it. And even Jesus said, don't worry about tomorrow, for tomorrow will bring its own worries. Today's trouble is enough for today. So what's next? The eternal God is your refuge. The Hebrew letters are pictorial words. They carry a meaning that has to be almost felt. What is really said here is the God of the forefront will be your refuge. Now, I accept the fact that it's a tough trip. I know that God gives us the strength by the day, and He pours out the strength to match what my day's going to bring, but I'm still anxious about tomorrow. God, knowing this, adds this promise. Don't we get nervous about tomorrow? And history is marching on, and I don't know what's around the bend up there. And what this verse is saying is that the God of the forefront is our safety. When you get to that, you're already covered. Now, time, you do accept time is relative. God says, I'm Alpha, beginning, and Omega, the end. Time is relative to us. We view time in such a manner that history is what's past, right? And the future is up front. The future's yet to come, it's up front. We're marching into the future, right? History is all behind me. History has passed me by, and the future is yet to come. Isn't that the way we look at time? Where's history? Behind me. Where's the future? In front of me. Now, God doesn't view it the way we view it. He views history the way we look at a parade. He knows the beginning. He knows the end. And when you look at a parade, what's up front has already gone by, and what's behind is yet to come. In fact, those little clowns have already cleaned up the mess, and what's up front having gone by. You got it? We look at time, and what is history is behind, and future is up front. But if you look at a parade, future is behind, and what's up front is past, huh? Oh, wait a minute. Future is in front of me and history is behind me. But if I flip my brain to the God view, what's up front has already passed and what's behind is yet to come. And that's what this pictorial word is saying, is that what's scaring us up front, the God of the forefront, is already on that corner, cleaned up the mess, and provided the shelter when we get there. You got it? Think about this. Tough shoes, iron and brass, for a tough trip. As your day, so shall your strength be. And the God of the forefront, who's already rounded the bend and encountered every mess, is there for my refuge when I get there. And what I thought was future, He's already made the trip. And what I thought was yet to come is behind Him, as He led the parade, and believe it or not, comes at the end too. And lastly, underneath are the everlasting arms. Again, we have a Hebrew word that's pictorial. Can you conceive of what bottomless is? I can't, but you can understand it a little bit. It's a long way down there. Underneath, the Hebrew word grasps at an abstract thought, really. It's really impossible to conceive. Wherever bottomless is, underneath that means that if you slip and fall all the way down to bottomless, wherever that is and whatever that is, underneath that are the everlasting arms. And when He sees us start to fall, He can get to underneath bottomless real fast. He can make it, but that our security might be magnified. The promise is everlasting, never moving, down underneath bottomless, everlasting arms. And that's what grace is, friends. It's a tough trip, but the shoes will make it. There are good days and bad days, but as your day, so shall your strength be. There's uncertainties about the future, but the God of the forefront is on the corner and he's got it all worked out. And when our day reaches that day and it's today for us, then he'll give us the strength to make it. And when we stumble underneath are the everlasting arms, they never move. Doesn't that make you feel good? Well, that's all for tonight. Reach out to me if you have any questions on this. And remember to look up from the place where you are now and get walking.
Now, wasn't that a wonderful training by Miss Spelling Bee? Laurie Brown always brings the heat, and I want to tell you what, it's so true. As your day is, so is your strength. I'm telling you what, there's new mercies every morning, as the good book says. There's nothing that can come at you right now that you're not equipped for, that you do not have the resources for. If you will just look up from where you're at, make sure that you are equipped with those iron shoes that can walk across whatever needs to be walked across to get to where you need to go. Now, here's how I want to show you how I was able to take the mindset training that Laurie just gave us and put it into practice. Now, for those on the video portion of our podcast, you know I'm wearing a Braves jersey, uniform, and ball cap, and I'm carrying a Louisville Slugger bat right here in my hand. Now, if you're listening to the audio podcast, you might want to go back at some point and just get a chuckle out of seeing me in full-blown Braves uniform here. But here's the point. This past Friday, Major League Baseball made a decision to pull the All-Star ball game out of Atlanta this year because of some bills that were passed by the state government there. Now, I personally, in full disclosure, think it's a terrible idea, and I think the reasoning they use is not even legit. I've read the bill cover to cover, and I don't see how they can say it's a voter suppression law, but that's my personal opinion. Please don't take that as anything other than that's just my opinion. You do you. But here's the point I want to get to you and about what Laurie was talking about tonight, about having iron shoes that can walk across the toughest terrain and the ability to look up and to conquer the day with the strength that you've been given that day. Friday, I got to admit, man, I was irritated. I was beyond irritated. I was full-blown pissed. Let's just put it that way. I mean, we've been looking forward to this for years now. They've announced it multiple years now. Now, I know if you're not a baseball fan, this means nothing to you, but stick with me. You're going to see how this mindset training that she just gave and having iron shoes, that is the tools that you need to walk across any market, any terrain, any emotional pushback that you're having within yourself or within the market, you can actually use it as a moment to make money. So this was announced, and for years, we've been looking forward to this in Braves country here, man, at the All-Star game coming to Atlanta, new stadium. We got a great team this year. We're just hoping and praying this is the year that we can go back to the big dance and see another World Series, but who knows? But here's the point. Maybe there's things in your life that you look forward to. Maybe all you see now is just rocky terrain and just frustration of where you're at versus where you want to be. Now, I know this, some of you are saying, Terry, it's just a game. Well, you know, if you're a sports fan, it's more than just a game, you know, for you guys that follow sports. But it was frustrating. So what do I do? What I do as a marketing leader and mindset coach and an online entrepreneur, I want to show you how the news that came out Friday that was devastating to people like me who are fans was able to yield me over $2,300. Here's how. So first thing I did was I sent out a campaign to a list of about 5,000 people within the Atlanta area that I knew would be more than likely baseball fans. The second thing I did was I asked them, how do you feel about the decision by Major League Baseball? We need your opinion now. Sound off and let us know. And I gave them a compelling call to action. And number 3, when I sent them there, I was able to get $12 for every person that filled out that survey. Now, sending that out to thousands of people, it cost me a little under $200. But as of yesterday, Sunday, because it's still coming in, my totals are averaging up to right at over $2,300. Now, what I could have done and what I've done in the past is gotten upset and just frustrated and gone to social media and just gave my minds, and I might still do that, by the way. But I could have expended all of this emotional energy, because here again, guys, some of you said, this is Terry, it's a game. It's not. It was important to me. It was something I wanted. And especially after the backdrop of 2020, man, to have a big game. I was planning a big event with some friends that I know and family members. We're going to make it a big deal. Go down there, had a place already set up to rent out. We was going to make it a big weekend. It was something I'd been looking to for 3.5, 4 years now. And especially in the backdrop of 2020, I was disappointed. I had a choice to make. I could have used that disappointment just to spill out on everybody. Or I could say, hey, there's other people that probably feel like me. How can I give them a meaningful way to sound off and at the same time make money? And that's what I did. I took the emotional energy that I had. I took the frustration, the aggravation, the irritation that was caused by someone else, and I turned it into something that helped them and helped me as well by helping them. See, that's what it means to have iron shoes, to be equipped with tools that will take you across any terrain that the market has because of societal upheaval, because of civil unrest, because of political craziness. Let me ask you this, and I asked this last week, and I've asked it in newsletters, and I'm going to ask it until you can honestly answer it. Has the recent events of COVID-19 in 2020 and everything else that's gone on in our society, has the canceling of an all-star game, has the canceling of any event you look forward to, has it been a help or has it been a hurt? I'm telling you, when you have iron shoes, and that is when you have the tools, the training, and the technology you need with the proper mindset and coaching of how to take what was meant for evil and turn it for good, you too can experience more, enjoy more, and yes, earn more. I'm telling you guys, you don't have to be a wandering generality. You can be a meaningful specific just by targeting in and understanding why and who you are and taking those things, those passions that you have, those things that turn you on, and marrying it with a tool and getting involved with an audience that's like you. I'm telling you, you can earn more, enjoy more, explore. You can have anything you want. You just got to have those iron shoes. And that's what we offer. And that's what you heard last week with Miller Time on here, how he's been able to go from the, broke, busted, and disgusted to too blessed to be stressed, and how he's helping people today earn, enjoy, and experience more. That's what we offer here at TW3. We love taking people and taking their stories and showing them how, okay, this is the turning point. This is where you can take off. And how do we do it? We give them the tools, the training, and technology they need. So if you would like to be able to take your great disappointment, your cancellation of an all-star game because of craziness, listen, we can't control what other people are going to do. We can't control what Major League Baseball is going to do. We can't control politics, but we can control what we do with it. We can control how we respond. We can make a decision today to lace up our iron shoes, look up, and move forward.
And now back to our show with Terry Wilson.
He needs a script is really what we're learning here. It's question time.
All right, never mind.
Yeah, don't interrupt me.
All right.
It's question time. So let's see here. We had email questions. Did you turn my mic down? This is going well. I just got really quiet for no reason. I was like, what happened? It's turning me off. Our first question was about TW3 Radio, actually.
TW3 Radio.
it literally just says, what's TW3 Radio about? So,
Laurie, what is TW3 Radio about?
Well, Terry, we don't talk about TW3 Radio a whole lot, but everyone should know that with every membership, you have the opportunity to host your own radio show.
What?
And can you believe that?
That's crazy.
So that's included with your membership, but here's why you just need to bite the bullet and start doing that. I know for myself, it really kind of pushed me out of my comfort zone, but here's the benefits to you. First off, you're going to learn so well what you're able to teach and what is, sales, coaching, consulting. It's all about public speaking, right? So you're going to just develop those speaking skills and presentation skills and gain more comfort while you're doing that public speaking. It's also going to help you build your creative skills because, you got to think about what you're going to talk about. And on TW3 Radio, it can be really any subject that you're passionate about, but you do need to come up with a subject. You need to research the subject, and then you sort of need to put together your outline or your script of what you're going to talk about. And that's going to, again, help you build those creative skills. You're going to need that for creating ad copy, for blog posts, for writing any training or webinars or presentations that you want to do. The other thing is that you can add to your online profile and your resume that you're a radio personality, and that's going to give you credibility.
Absolutely.
To the internet world. And, Terry, I'm sure, you've been doing this a long time, and you seem very comfortable now, but, 20 years ago, were you this comfortable
I wouldn't say I'm comfortable now.
Doing? Were you as
Who says I'm comfortable now?
You know what? The most important thing, I think, is it is for your own edification. It builds yourself up. And I can tell you what I've been teaching on my radio show, the 7 decisions. I have been completely convicted, and I've started really making those decisions for myself in my own life, in my personal life, and in my business life, to make those right decisions that are going to lead you to success. So, whatever you're going to talk about, it's going to help you because, again, you don't know anything unless you can teach it.
It's almost like when you start creating content like you're talking about, whether it be in blogging or radio or podcasting or whatever, but when you start putting yourself out there, it's almost like the content you're creating starts becoming an accountability partner to you. Mm-hmm. Isn't that amazing?
True.
And you're experiencing what I experienced as a young boy, right, wrong, or indifferent. People's got their own opinions on how you should rear children. So I'm not getting in those waters by no means. God, you want to talk about controversy? Try talking about how to raise children. But I will say this, the way I was raised, right, wrong, or indifferent, I'm not making any judgments, but my mother put a Bible in my hand and says, you got to teach Sunday school next week. Well, that immediately put me on, I'm not going to stand up there and stammer and stammer. I'm going to be like, River, we need a script. And so I had to go to the woodshed. I had to go, okay, and I need some help. Where should I start? Well, a young man ought to learn Proverbs. There's a proverb for every day of your life. So starting there, Proverbs 1, 2, 3, every day I had to read a Proverbs, and she wanted me to sort of write down what I learned from it and then present that this coming Sunday. And that developed in me, not because it was done in an egregious way or an overbearing way. It was done in a way that sort of whet my appetite for having a hunger to learn things in that faith and in that philosophy and that worldview. to this day has been richly rewarding. It's almost like the two things I can say has been the most life-giving things. They're sort of disciplines I've learned is music. I had to sit down on an instrument because it's so therapeutic. Sometimes late at night, I will walk downstairs in the studio, put my headphones on, and just zone out and play that keyboard for a while. And learning that Bible and just learning the wisdom of people thousands of years ago and what they're saying, and then being able to hear it brought back in a modern day context in a whole different presentation like Jordan Peterson does on his, his talks about because it's so out of the spectrum of what and this whole mindset that I was raised in. So it's very challenging to hear it from that. But you are right, Laurie. The way you learn something is you just do a deep dive into it and put yourself in a position where you have to turn around and teach it. And that's why, one of the best ways you can learn a product is put it in someone's hand and say, now go out there and sell this. Because what do they have to do? Oh, shoot. Well, how does this thing work? Yeah. What value does it have? What problems does it solve? No matter what the context is, putting something in someone's hands and saying, hey, go communicate why this is what you ought to know and appreciate and maybe consider about this to those people over there, it puts you in a position. And I thank you for bringing that up, Laurie. I didn't never thought about that. That is one of the benefits of having that radio program at tw3radio.com. And Laurie does such a great job. Her shows are on Tuesday nights at 8 p.m. 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which would be 6 p.m. Central Time.
No.
5 p.m. 7.
No.
3, 2.
7.
Exponential 25 or 6 to 4. Okay. So, 7 o'clock. Yeah. And
I caught that Chicago reference.
You caught that. Okay. Does a great job.
That was my favorite song in 6th grade.
Really? You know what it's about?
I have no idea.
You don't know what 25 or 6 to 4 is about?
I don't know what time signature. I don't know.
No, it's not that cool.
It's not that cool once you learn about it. So it was Robert Lamb's turn to bring a song to the recording session. He was up all night, couldn't figure out what to write. He was having a mental brain freeze. And so it was 25 or 26 minutes to 4 a.m. And so he just put 25 or 26 to 4.
25 or 6 to 4.
25 or 6 to 4. And then he's sitting there in a hotel room right above the Whiskey A Go-Go, flashing lights against the sky.
That song's about nothing.
It's literally about writing a song. Well, that's what he's just going around the room. What do I see? And he's writing these lyrics out. It's pretty.
It's the Seinfeld song of Chicago, basically.
He's Seinfeld of Chicago. It's a song about nothing. And it made millions. Oh, my word. So what other...
Not that there's anything wrong.
Not that there's anything wrong. I'm out.
Just throw all the Seinfeld references.
Put them all in at one time.
Yeah. All right. Last question here was, it's a common question we get. How do I get started with no money down?
How would you do that, Reagan?
Oh, me?
Yeah.
Well, typically most of our recruiters have a program you can enroll.
Yeah.
They offer PayPal credit so you can get started. Yeah, I think it's 6 months, no interest.
Yeah, PayPal's got that 6 month deferred, which means basically there's no payments, no interest or anything for 6 months. So it gives you long enough runway to get in, learn it, use it, make money with it, and then pay for it.
Yeah. So typically when I'm talking to people, I either recommend that because most of our recruiters offer that. And we also have if you enroll in that, you can also enroll in our 90-day money made guarantee, which simply just means, if you follow our steps, you enroll in our program. We're going to verify that you're doing the steps the way we show you to do it.
Yeah.
If you don't make money within the 90 days, we'll comp your admin until you make your money back, or we'll, split sales with you.
Yeah. We will drag you across the finish line.
We'll make sure you get your money, you make your money. So.
That's right. So we believe, and we've never had, what's so cool about that? We've been doing that, 5 years now?
Yeah, something like that.
Never, ever, Laurie, never had to pay out on it.
That's amazing.
All these
moves. Which shows it works.
It works. If you just do it the way we show you, stay committed, do what Laurie said in our training tonight, put on those iron shoes That way you can walk across that rough terrain that's out there and go to the area. But you first got to look up, see what's available to you, and then start walking. That was great training tonight, Laurie.
Thank you so much.
Where do you come up with all this stuff? You've been reading.
Well, what is it that you say, Terry?
Well, if you want to go to the next level, which one? What do I say?
That one.
That one? Was that what you was referencing? You got to grow to the next level, and that's why I offer free books at terrywilson3.com/free. I am just one walking cliche nowadays, aren't I?
You skipped the first part of it, though.
What did I know?
It's the earners or
You
learners.
left out leaders are readers.
Yeah, earners are learners and leaders are readers.
There you go. That's it.
Doing it so long, I forget half of what it means sometimes. I have to go back and revisit my own words. Well, guys, when we get back, we're going to find out what Laurie's up to and what her show's about tomorrow night. We're going to prod her and tease her and see if she will give up a little bit of the ghost and let us know a little preview of what she's got cooking for us tomorrow night on TW3radio.com. And then we'll close the show out and maybe even make you a special offer if you do something tonight and tonight only. We'll get back right after this.
Hi, Bob Christie here. Those who know me call me Coach C. I have a new show on the TW3 Radio Network. It's called Coach C's Inside Pitch, and we're live every Tuesday night at 7 o'clock on TW3radio.com. I've been in baseball more than 60 years. 6 decades is a long time. I learned a lot about baseball, but I learned a whole lot more about life and what it takes to be successful. I was a player, I was an umpire for more than 35 years, and then I became a coach. And I coached for a long time. My final 2 years were as a college coach up in Pennsylvania. I never really saw myself as a baseball coach. I saw myself as a teacher. My job was to take young boys and make them young men, take young adults, and get them ready to face life after school. Baseball was simply the tool that I used to make this happen. My guests and I are going to talk about what we learned on the sports field and how it translates into life in general. I think you'll enjoy that. It's going to be a lot of fun. So please join me every Tuesday night, 7 o'clock Eastern, at TW3radio.com. We'll see you there.
You're listening to TerryWilson3.com. Inspiring, informative, and entertaining content for the entrepreneur and small business owner.
And now back to our show with Terry Wilson.
Thank you, Bobby B. Make it funky. Got Miss Spelling Bee out there. Hey, all of my buttons are working. Now, hold on a second. I got to pull this one down. They're making fun of me, Laurie.
We're not. I thought it was funny because you were saying things, but you didn't turn up anybody else's mic, so,
Oh, well.
I just thought that's, a little
you know
funny.
me. I'm gonna get in my part first before I
So I'm gonna make a joke, and you guys can't interrupt me.
And you can't interrupt me. You can't stand on the punchline.
You can't do any little funny quips, little ha-has. No.
Don't need any.
No.
You millennials.
I was just gonna say it was very Wooten-esque.
Vic Wooten.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love Victor Wooten. I got to meet him when he came to Hames years ago.
Is he a cool guy?
He's a sweetheart of a guy. He's one of those guys. Do you know who Victor Wooten is, Laurie?
No, I don't
Google him. He is just an incredible bass player. Your husband, I know, will probably know. Victor Wooten played with the Flecktones. He's this 5'5", stocky black guy that just can play a thump bass like nobody's business. But he plays with these bluegrass bands up in Kentucky and Tennessee and all around the Carolinas. I mean, plays that music better than anybody I've ever heard. And then he'll go back and play in the groovy, funky stuff as well. And it's just like, he is an amazing, amazing musician. And he's been out there on the road touring probably 25, 30 years now.
Yeah.
But
That's cool.
Yeah, he's
Mr. Wonderful had a band what he called glitter bluegrass.
Glitter bluegrass.
Whatever that is, but
oh, That's awesome. That's awesome. So what are you talking about tomorrow night on Look Up with Laurie Brown on TW3 Radio?
So tomorrow I'm going to be talking about one of the 7 decisions, which is the certain decision. And that's all about having a decided heart. And it's what fuels your actions that you made in the active decision. It's about making a decision and then being just kind of sticking with it.
Right.
You know, you can make a decision, or you can ask somebody, well, what do you think about this? What do you think about that? And so many people get into analysis of their decision that they never actually move on to act on the decision. So it's really, really guarding your heart when you make a decision, no matter if you're, people are going to criticize you. They just are. They might think you're crazy. But being certain, having a decided heart and protecting your decided heart is going to be one thing that really is going to let people view you as a leader, because a lot of times people who are able to make decisions and stick with them with conviction, they're the ones that are the leaders. People follow people with a decided heart.
Oh, I love that. I just gave the boys your round to it and stick to it that you sent me.
That was from Laurie?
While you were talking.
I like that.
And, but you're right. And you probably know more than I do, Laurie, but it seems like I remember this story where this general was taking these soldiers into battle. And I forget the circumstances. I forget all the surrounding nuances of the story, but I do just this one.
That was it.
Is that what you're talking about?
Yep. Well, that was last week. And,
Okay.
And anyone who wants to go back to that, they can go to my YouTube channel, look up with Laurie Brown, and listen to that. But that was about a general that was at the battle at Gettysburg. And, he wasn't some kind of military genius. He was a teacher from Maine. But he made a decision to act. And had he not, held fast to what his decision was, our country today would not be what it is.
That's so good. And
so one man's decision to act changed the course of history.
That is, I love stories like that because it's number one, it just brings back how powerful our decisions for our own lives, our community lives, our family, what a decision. And not to get up on a soapbox, but words sometimes get abused. We use them, but we don't appreciate the meaning. And I hearken back to that study I did years ago where I recall, and I forget, I think it's the Latin that the word decision comes from, the two Latin words, correct me if I'm wrong, but it comes from 2 words that means to cut away. So if you think about it, a true decision is saying, and this is why you use the word, do you decide to marry this person? Are you deciding to do this? What you're saying is, this is the only option. Everything else I cut away. Now, you can make a choice, and then that's the choice you made during that time period, but as other options open up, things change, new information on the ground happens, then you make other choices. But that wasn't a decision. And that's there's power in words when we start to understand the meaning. When I say I have decided to do something, then what you have said is, you're just about, well, not just about, you're going to have to kill me to stop me, because this is what I'm going to do. I've decided. So start using words for what they mean. Don't treat it loosely. And that's why I love what you're teaching on, Laurie, because when people decide to take their money, business, and life to new levels, when people decide to have more, to do more, to enjoy more, to experience more, when people decide that I'm no longer going to be this wandering generality, but I'm going to be a meaningful specific, I'm going after something in life. When you make a decision, what you're saying is, and that means you're just going to have to shoot me to stop me.
That's exactly right. That is absolutely right.
Otherwise, I'm coming. Now, you might stop me today. You might trip me up today. I might get discouraged today. I might have to take a respite because you've punched me so hard. You've knocked the wind out of my sails. But tomorrow, I'm getting back up and I'm like water. I'm going to find whatever crack, whatever crevice, whatever area I can. What are you laughing at, boys? River doesn't like some of my choice of words, but you get the point. And so, guys, I would just encourage you, as we've had Miss Spelling Bee on tonight talking about iron shoes, to go over there and check her radio program out on Tuesday nights, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's called Look Up with Laurie Brown. She is a wonderful, wonderful recruiter and trainer here at TW3. We are honored and count it a true blessing that someone of your caliber, Laurie, still puts up with us. We just don't understand it, but we are grateful for it.
True.
Yeah, me and Reagan and River, we're just constantly scratching our heads saying, how did we get so lucky to have such good people around us? But it is true. And so, guys, let her encourage you. Make a decision about your health. Make a decision about your life. Make a decision about your family. Make a decision about your money. Make decisions. And that's another... Hey, I don't want to get on soapbox, but here again.
Hey, get off.
One more thing.
You get down right now.
I'm feeling something on this one. But you know,
get off that box right now.
It might be a revelation to some people that you actually have the power to decide. That in itself cuts against a lot of popular thinking in today's, well, you know, you're a cosmic accident. You just, this is the cards you're dealt. This is life. This is your lot in life. You have, you know, might as well just hold on until whatever and wait until big business, big government, big whatever is going to come bail you out. Or the other option is, no, I'm the captain of my own ship. I can make decisions for my life and I can chart my own course. So you got to decide which side of the fence you're going to be on, and then go after it.
For me, what I've learned is I'm going to stop saying I'm deciding to go to Taco Bell. From now on, I'm just going to be like, I think I'm going to Taco Bell.
I'm thinking about choosing.
I'm not willing to die for Taco Bell.
Go ahead, Lord.
Well, and I was going to say, you're the only one that has any power over your decision. Nobody else, just you. So you're responsible for your decisions, but you can't let any circumstances of life or, you know, things that happen affect the power that you have over your own life and what your own decisions are. So
absolutely.
Make decisions, stick with them.
As I've talked to counselors and people that I've worked with and have talked to in my Myers-Briggs training when I was going through that, and then some of the other counseling training I've taken online and then through ministry and in the secular world, people way, and it's not hard to find someone smarter than me, but people way smarter than me that's in that space tell me that the one thing you can do for someone that's suffering from anxiety, depression, aggravation, whatever, is empower them to the point where they understand that they have the capacity to decide, to chart their own and have control. Because so many times, you know, the reason people feel so anxious is they just feel like life is out of control. Things are happening to me and I can't. And that's a very vulnerable position to be in psychologically. And it just makes you feel like, you know, you're just being tossed with the winds of life and you're frustrated. And then you're put in this position to look around at what's letting me down. Life is letting me down. Family's letting me down. The job's letting me down. Politics is letting me down. Maybe my religion is letting me down. But when you can get to that point where you understand life happens, but I have decisions. I can make decisions that will have consequences, good and bad. And I might not win today. I might not win tomorrow, but if I keep doing this, and this, it just stands to reason, because 1 + 1 eventually is going to equal 2, that I can get to where I want to go, making the right decisions.
And you know, Terry, that's something that keeps coming up in the 7 decisions is we don't always make the right decision, but we have the ability to make a decision and then make it right.
That's right.
And that's the difference.
That's
You can always fix it.
We can listen. It ain't brain surgery most of the time, unless you're a brain surgeon out there, and then you got to get it right the first time. But for a lot of things, there's room for making mistakes and modifying, figuring out what you did, and go back to Gosh, I was in a meeting early this morning with a group of pastors that I'm doing some consulting work with because they're wanting to bring their services and podcasts and different things online. And they were asking, well, you do this and you do this. How did you figure out how to? I was like, guys, I literally made every single stupid mistake a person can make. I made them. The difference between me and a lot of other people is I simply just too dumb to quit. I just kept going. And because I made a decision that my decision was I'm going to be faithful to my family. I'm going to be faithful to my wife. I'm going to be faithful to my God. That was my decision. So now that's the why. Now I got to figure out the how and the what. So how do I accomplish this and what do I need to do? But if you'll get those fundamental things, then the rest falls in place. The reason why people bounce in and out of job opportunities, business opportunities, this, that, the other, because they haven't made a decision. They haven't decided, what am I going to do? Why am I doing it? But once that's in place, I'm telling you, things clear up for you. Laurie, it was great having you on tonight. I know.
Thank you so much.
You and I can pontificate back and forth probably until Jesus comes back, but we probably need to wrap it up at some point. But thank you for being on.
My pleasure.
All right, guys. Anything that we need to announce coming up?
I don't think so. We covered River's thing, right?
Yeah, River, just to recall, River's doing the tech support. If you need a screen share on simple technical things, that's going to be happening on Tuesdays and Thursdays from 4 o'clock to 5 o'clock. Tuesdays and Thursdays, just log in your back office if you are a member. If you are an elite member, we've got another mastermind coming up this Wednesday night. You'll want to be on for. And for all of you guys, I've got some very special guests lined up in the coming weeks that are on talking about creating compelling ad copy. And you say, well, what's that got to do? Well, if you write an email, if you write a text, if you write a blog, if you post anything on social media, wouldn't you like more people to respond to it? Wouldn't you like to engage more people? Wouldn't you like more people to opt in, open your email, click on what you're sending them out? Well, there's a strategy behind how that happens, and we've got some of the best people in the industry coming to the TW3 studios.
And that stuff's more important than people think.
It's
a game in itself of creating a captivating ad copy that hasn't already been done. I mean,
how do you stand out from all the noise?
Yeah, I didn't realize how difficult it was until I started creating one. I was like, there's an actual psychological element to all of this. So no, that's going to be a good show.
Well, the man, the legend, the way of life, Ray Edwards will be in a couple weeks. And then I've got a good friend of mine as well as him. I've got Leslie Graham coming in as well. So 2 heavy hitters when it comes to ad copy and writing copy and all of that. They're coming in and to be with us. So just one more reason why you want to be at TW3 and be a part of the TW3 family. Until next time, we will see you later.
Thank you for listening to our show today at TerryWilson3.com.
Get a free sample copy of the book You Are Worth More by going to TerryWilson3.com now.
If you would like more information on how we can take your money, your business, and your life to the next level, then please visit us online at TerryWilson3.com.